Hey Joe.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful, man. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How's everything going?
Everything's good. Where are you located?
I'm based out of New York.
Okay, right
What
on.
a- what a- what
I'm
about
in
you?
Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, yes, yes. Sorry, yes.
Yeah. No, it's all good. It gets confusing. There's a lot going on. But hey,
You
it's
have a
great to meet you. I love your story. And before we get into it, I want to know first and foremost, how did you survive COVID? The last 3 years was quite a thing. How did you get through it? And how has it changed the way that you live and do things now?
Sure. I think these are great questions, and also to the Kansas point, you guys have a big game today. So,
It's man, I tell you what, it's red everywhere. This town does not play around with football.
yeah, and I mean, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid have done just incredible things together. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited to watch the game later tonight.
Yeah, we're pretty excited here for sure.
So COVID. Okay, great question. So with COVID, something that kind of helped me get through it was, or actually, let me take a step back. When a lot of folks went through COVID, right? Everyone was at home, working from home. You're confined to your area. Um, and one thing that really helped me was uh, to have a schedule. So yes, there's work, and then there's home, and then you're cooking, and now we're work from home, and everything kind of takes place in the same area. Whereas opposed to like prior to COVID, and hopefully post COVID now for a lot of people,
Yeah.
you can have a schedule where you can go to the park or go enjoy restaurants or just go into an office. Something that really helped me quite a bit was I had my own office. So I would wake up, shower, even though I'd be sitting in the office either by myself or with one other person, um, you know, uh, with my business partner. There was that schedule where I could leave my house, walk over to my office, walk in, have a full work day, which I know a lot of folks did not get to maybe experience the same way, but that's something that really helped keep me going. Um, on the flip side, so we finally decided to go remote earlier this year, and working from home was just really difficult. And I was sitting there and I was like, man, so, like the entire world sat and did this. And like, the loneliness it can create now that everybody's back to work or running around, or kind of cabin fever it creates, it's challenging. I think similar to during the COVID period, that's kind of helping me get through all of this right now is again having a schedule. So making sure I'm going on walks, uh, sitting outside, going to the gym, like not doing everything that I've always done just at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite a thing. And you kind of touched a little bit on some of the things that you do business wise, but let's get to the heart and soul of it. I'm going to put you in front of a bunch of third graders at a career day. One of the kids
Yep.
looks up and says, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" How do you answer that child?
Sure. We create ads for people to understand what products are and why people should buy them. And what this means is that maybe the Barbie or the Jeep or the Hot Wheels you want to buy, when you see it on TV, we come up with the concept of how that ad should be created, and then we put it on places like on your TV or in other social media channels.
So when you were a kid in the third grade, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I want to be a race car driver.
Okay.
Yes. And that's still a dream.
So talk to me about where you were born and raised and some of the seeds that were put into you to help people and to put people in front of the right people. How did this happen?
Sure. I was born in Malaysia. I've lived in 5 countries. I've traveled to 46. And I guess my drive in marketing has been more around the mathematics and science of it over the art. What I really enjoy doing is looking at all of the different data segments, the cohorts, and understanding why does a red background with the exact same product image sell better than a white background with the exact same product image? I think marketing is such a large landscape where folks are creative and they can create amazing designs or develop really cool websites or different applications. And then there's the whole data and science element to it, where we are testing through different variations, copy messaging to promote the specifics of a product. Maybe it's a benefit, maybe it's, if it's for a luxury hotel, it's, hey, here's an amazing shot of the beach and somebody sitting with a beer, in their hand and just like relaxing, that feeling. That the creative part, really, that I started to develop my skills on later on after understanding the data and the science element of marketing.
So what's been one of the most impressive marketing ad campaigns you've ever witnessed in your life?
Oh, okay. So I believe it's it's cameras situated all over the world, and it's capturing moments of joy of people giving each other hugs, or there is like a manual car where the e-brake isn't up and some person's crossing the street and another person sees that and like pulls them out of the way. And it's all of these moments that occur throughout this commercial. And at the very end, I'm pretty sure it's a Coke commercial or a Pepsi commercial. And it's talking about connectivity and people, and how Coke can also bring people together. And that, every time I see it, just hits home.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Who's been kind of a hero for you in your life? Who have you looked up to?
Hero, I would say my father. He's been a pretty big role model in my life, for many different reasons. But ultimately, he came from nothing and he built his business. And the one thing he had always taught me was, okay, you're gonna go out into the world, do the best you can, but the goal for you is to be a leader. And that's how you should always see things. So if you're playing a sport, how do you become a captain? If you are working at a company, how do you get to manager and director? If how do you build your own business? How do you lead? And more importantly, how do you lead in a sense where it's taking care of people? And I think he's done a lot of that in his life, which is something where I draw a lot of inspiration from.
So if you can meet anybody alive on the planet right now, whether it's a business person, anybody, and spend a little time with them, who would it be?
Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio, he has a book called Principles. He has other books, Changing World Order. But I think the reason why is because, of course, he's built a massive, hedge fund, and obviously done very well for himself. It's the teachings in his book. Not everything is linear, not everything is top down, and that you should take care of. A lot of his principles are they're focused on learning. How do you get better? How do you treat people better? How do you do things that are north of fair? And then after you are doing something north of fair, how can you ensure someone is fair back to you? I think a lot of those principles I really resonate with me. Maybe not every single one, but a lot of them. And so, would just love to chat with him.
So obviously he has a high level of motivation. What is that for you? What gets you out of bed every day? What gets you to help people and want to accomplish what you want to get done?
Sure. I think from where I am in my professional career and like where I am personally today, it's I have a lot of responsibility, and I take it very much as it's my responsibility, whether it's taking care of my family or ensuring that the business is doing well, so that instead of giving a 3% raise, I can afford to give a 10% raise and like take care of like my team and the people around me. Uh, that gives me a lot of motivation. And really that happened, I don't know, maybe like eight or so years ago, where it's like, no, this is my responsibility. And as soon as I started taking ownership of like, I need to do this to be better, to help others be better, that changed a lot for me. Where then it was a lot easier to go out and accomplish things, and or at least put myself in a position to start learning new things as well. Over, oh man, I have more work to do, or oh man, like just changing the thought process, being positive and taking the responsibility of saying, I'm going to be better.
So what has been one of your best client success stories?
Best client success. I am fortunate to say we've had quite a few. I will. Okay, so we started working with a partner. I'm not going to mention their name, but the CEO and founder, his name is Soom Rakshit, and he's just brilliant, just a brilliant person, and he's also kind. We started working with his company, and they were advertising great products. He is solving a problem in the sexual wellness space with devices outside of medicine. Like, just let you know, here's medicine. There are other strategies, and so developed a product which is very robust, or a product line which is very robust. And when we started working with him, he was, he couldn't get, or at the time his teams weren't able to get a lot of the ads off the ground because of a number of different things, like policies and developing the right type of creative, and some parts of strategy. And so what we were able to do is grow from, say, around like a 6K spend coming in, now closer to 300K spend, like profitably for his business. It's taken some time. We've worked through policies. We've talked to all the different ad platforms. We have, formulated plans. Some of them we've had to throw out and rebuild and keep going. But I think the impact that's made on his business, he's been able to grow like 40-50x like what he was doing, right? And like, this is all within 1 year. There are other businesses where we've been able to scale them quite a bit, but the reality of the scale, it's not every client is going to scale to the same level. Some partners are tougher than other partners, but we've been fortunate to crack the code for 10, 15, 20 different partners where we've been able to drive tremendous scale for them.
So if you were to have a dream tonight, you ran into a much younger version of yourself, say in your early 20s, and you could give that
Yes.
version of you a piece of advice based on the wisdom you've gained in your life, the things that you've overcome. What would you tell that young version of you?
Keep your head down and keep going. Like, keep learning and keep going. You're going to make mistakes. That's just part of life. As long as you're taking the time to learn from them, just keep going.
So you've been to a lot of the world. You said 46 countries. What's the coolest place, the most unexpected place that you've ever seen?
Unexpected. Okay, this is a great question. Because unexpected is also different from like favorite, or where you would go back. I Two places come to mind. So the first one is I did a solo trip to Peru, and I went to Machu Picchu, but I didn't do the Inca Trail. I did something called the Salcante Trail, and we hiked through the Andes Mountains, beautiful lakes, and the temperature variants were insane. Like, it would go from like 90 degrees down to freezing within a day of hiking, depending on which side of the mountains you were on. And we hiked about 10 to 12 miles a day, started at like 6:37 in the morning, and then ended around 6-7 p.m. And why that was interesting was the nature and the calm, just walking through. And have you ever watched Lord of the Rings?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so when they have those like cool helicopter pans up top of everybody hiking through the mountains and whatnot, and it kind of felt very much like that, and a lot of it was very surreal. I fell a whole bunch of times. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you get back up and you keep going. And then the second place was I went to Cape Town in South Africa, and Again, I did a solo trip, and the culture down there was really cool. A lot of different foods that I had tried that I'd never tried before, which was really interesting. I did a safari, and just seeing animals in nature, and even how herbivores eat along with other herbivores, right? They're all together, and they're all like protecting each other by alerting each other. It's just very beautiful. So those were two very unexpected awe feelings that I've had. And I think with traveling, sometimes I'm always searching for that awe feeling, and those two places really gave it to me.
So if you could have seen any event in human history with your own eyes, what would you love to have witnessed?
This is a wonderful question. I'm, I think it would be cool to, maybe it's not human history, but either see dinosaurs or see the mammoths.
Yeah.
Just like how they interacted with the world, and is what we know today actually true? Like, in the sense where we have ideas of how they behaved, but we've never observed, right? Like, we know based on birds and reptiles, and like we assume that this is like similar behavior, but were there certain things that we got totally wrong, and what did we get also totally right? I think that would be a cool thing to compare.
For sure. So of all the things that you've done, seen, overcome, and become, what are you the proudest of?
I would say right now it's my work at DigiCom, and the reason why is because my past has been a culmination of what DigiCom has turned into, and what I want to continue building it, building into the future. Big reason, big reason, like DigiCom, it can be so many, other things. It could be sports for some people, or music for some folks, but I started working when I was 12, cleaning movie theaters, and I haven't stopped, and I take a lot of pride in my work. So yeah.
So everyone out there has a perception of you. You have all these pockets of people, family, friends, clients, colleagues, but you ultimately are in control. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
I think I'm a person that is going to try to do the right thing and have empathy, to understand other points of views, because often, like sometimes maybe too often, I go through the dilemma of, hey, this person might feel this way, or that way. But I would say, I try to be nice, but I'm kind. So what does that mean? So maybe I'm not saying hi to you on the street, but if you dropped your wallet, I'll mail it back to you.
Right on. Hey, if anyone wants to hire you, learn more about you, anything about your world, where can they go? Where's the best place?
Sure. Digicom.io. And then my name's Hemant Varshney, so HEMANT at digicom.io. Feel free to shoot me a note. Happy to just chat marketing, business, music, whatever.
Yes, sir. So are you a big sports fan?
I am. I'm a big Giants fan, and a big football fan.
Okay. So let me ask you this final question to go out on
Yeah.
on a high note. If you could witness any event, any NFL game moment, what would you love to have seen happen?
The David Tyree catch for the Giants Super Bowl win. That would have been an incredible moment, because I lost my voice watching that on TV.
Yeah, it's the best way to lose your voice, man. Hey, this has been great. Thank you so much for opening up and giving me your story. So many great insights, man. Thank you very much. Best of luck with everything.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Take care.